At the aristocratic academy, nobles never finish their plates. So, leaving a clean plate means you're instantly exposed as an intruder. This noble game, created by 4 wealthy heirs, tasks students with playing roles. Those who aren't caught win a huge cash prize. If they're caught, they must leave the academy or pay a 10 million fine. Yet here I am, a poor scholarship student, playing the role of a wealthy and arrogant young lady. So when I dragged my suitcase onto campus and saw a group of girls blocking the school gate, I didn't hesitate at all and said, "All of you, get out of my way." These pampered young masters and ladies had never been insulted like that before, and they turned around in anger. But meeting my calm, dark eyes, they froze. My gaze was serene, like royalty. Meanwhile, the arrogant queen looked down on the crowd like ants. Everyone thought she must be a noble lady. Faced with such a young lady, whose extraordinary background was obvious at a glance, everyone instinctively made way for her. But unexpectedly, I didn't leave. Instead, I casually pointed at a boy and gave an order. I said, "You, come here and carry my suitcase." That boy was the very one who had first insulted the 100 special students. When he was cursing at those 100 special students, he acted all high and mighty. But in front of this young lady, he was like a fawning lapdog. He spoke cautiously.
Very happy to be of service to you. May I ask your name?
She frowned. "I'm Chu Yan." The crowd hesitated. No major financial group had that name. No one knew her. Someone whispered,
"Didn't the masters also send people of high status? Are you playing the commoner to add a challenge?"
Everyone realized the young lady was just posing as a commoner to challenge herself. It's a pity that despite her efforts to stay low-key, her noble aura still shone through.
Miss Chu Yan, may I ask where your dormitory is?
The boy carrying my luggage spoke up excitedly. "My suitcase is a designer piece from Bigwo, and it costs around 100,000. But for students at Xuelu University, that's really nothing special. Yet in that boy's eyes, it was proof that I was going out of my way to hide my noble status. Building A, room 401. I didn't seem to care at all about what these people were saying. I frowned slightly, a trace of disdain in my eyes. "Don't call me miss."
So, it's actually Building A.
This only made everyone more certain of their suspicions, and the way they looked at me became even more respectful. After ordering that boy to finish making my bed, the arrogance in my eyes instantly disappeared. I immediately closed the bedroom door, cheered, and threw myself onto the bed. That really scared me, but luckily I managed to fool them. In order to keep my fabricated identity from being suspected, I actually did a lot of preparation work. First, I spent 5 million to buy some luxury goods to solidify my identity. Secondly, I went to great lengths to obtain background information and details about members of various major and minor financial conglomerates. At the same time, I crammed a lot of upper-class etiquette and common knowledge. Finally, I began to fabricate my own gentlemanly background. After all, how could a true young lady not have 1 or 2 friends of equal status? So, I set my backstory as a frail girl suffering from heart disease who couldn't socialize with others. That way, the issue was reasonably resolved. The problem of not having any friends. Similarly, if I encountered any difficult problems, I could use feigning illness as an excuse to avoid them. I knew that my current actions were like walking a tightrope. If my identity were exposed 3 months later, I would definitely offend people. Those people would tear me to pieces. But it doesn't matter. I came to Xuelu University for 2 reasons. First, for that huge reward. And second, to climb the social ladder. As long as I can get close to someone with a powerful family background, even if those people hate me, so what? The first day of school is supposed to be the best time for all the young masters and ladies to build connections. But if I can't reveal my own background, the nature of our conversations becomes much more limited. A lot less, in fact. Besides, most of their attention was focused on the handsome boy sitting by the window. Suddenly, someone exclaimed in surprise,
Look, someone is about to sit next to Chu Yan. What? This person looks so average, and his presence is nothing special. What right does he have to sit next to Chu Yan?
Perhaps because they were worried I might get upset, the students in the class deliberately lowered their voices when talking. Those words didn't reach my ears, so I could clearly hear someone else starting a conversation with me.
Hello, classmate. May I sit in the seat next to you?
I turned my head slightly and Nibaichi couldn't help but be momentarily dazed by my beauty. Then, with his hands clasped together and a pair of adorable puppy eyes, he looked at me pleadingly. Please, I really want to sit next to you. Since someone wanted to be friendly, of course I wouldn't refuse. What I wanted to show others was although I appear proud, deep down I am extremely gentle. A cold exterior with a warm heart. This kind of image, with its strong sense of contrast, not only helps with making friends, but can also attract my future Chabo boyfriend. Just as Nibaichi thought I wouldn't agree, she suddenly heard a voice as beautiful as a heavenly melody. Overjoyed, Nibaichi wanted to see my expression, only to find that at some point the girl had turned her head again, gazing intently out the window. She didn't feel disappointed, hurriedly pulled out her chair, and sat down eagerly. In the lounge, Mo Jinan scrolled through his phone, staring at the video of the proud and aloof girl, his face full of confusion.
How come I have no impression of this Chu Yan person?
Duanqing also became interested and craned his neck to look at Mo Jinan's phone.
Oh, what kind of person could actually catch young Master Mo's attention?
When he saw that stunningly beautiful girl, his expression turned serious for a second. Then he gave a playful smile.
She really is quite good looking.
Mo Jinan jabbed him hard with his elbow. With a face like that, how could she possibly go unnoticed in our circle?
I just feel like she seems a bit unfamiliar.
Duanqing scrolled through several more posts, growing more interested as he read. He said offhandedly,
It's perfectly normal. She's been frail and sickly, spending most of her time in the hospital, and rarely appearing on shows. Miss, you know young Master Mo is extremely picky. How many people actually leave an impression on him?
Hearing Duanqing, Mo Jinan stopped dwelling on it, focusing instead on Chu Yan's ailing health.
What illness does she have?
Lu Tian, who was sitting by the bookshelf reading with her head down, finally looked up. Her smile was gentle.
Anan, that's not like you to ask something like that.
Mo Jinan waved her hand irritably.
No, I was just asking casually.
Duanqing's fingers slowly rubbed the screen, his eyes fixed on my exquisitely perfect face, filled with a look of determination to win.
I'm actually quite interested in her. I must have her.
For some reason, Mo Jinan felt even more irritated. He tossed his phone onto the table and leaned heavily back on the sofa.
If you're interested in him, then go after him.
Duanqing is also a well-known playboy at Kuyu University. He's had so many exes that you couldn't even count them all. His sense of novelty usually lasts at most 3 months. But even so, there are still countless people lining up, wanting to be his girlfriend or his buddy. But I really did pique his interest, and he actually wants to see what happens next. He was curious to see what kind of captivating charm a proud and aloof girl would display in his arms. Duanqing also leaned back on the sofa and crossed his legs.
I guess it won't be long before I save Wen Chuan. Wait, why are you back?
Suddenly, the lounge door swung open. A boy appeared, strikingly handsome but cold. Li Wenchuan had been away on family business for days. Returning, he found the trio playing a dull game. Li Wenchuan glanced at Duanqing and his crossed legs. Duanqing immediately put his legs down.
How are you all handling the student council affairs?
Mo Jinan and the other two looked at each other. They had put all their energy into this game. How could they have any mind left to handle student council affairs? Judging by their expressions, Li Wenchuan could already guess. The three of them had basically treated his instructions as if they were nothing.
Nobody's leaving for a few days. Stay and finish the student council work first.
Duanqing cried out.
I just spotted a stunning beauty. Wen Chuan, you can't stand in the way of my love like this.
Li Wenchuan replied calmly.
Your love? So far, you've dated 328 people. The longest relationship lasted 3 months and 9 days. And the shortest, stop.
Duanqing also relented but briefly paused, then added stubbornly.
But this time, I'm really serious. I can guarantee that this time my relationship will definitely last more than 3 months.
Li Wenchuan wasn't interested in Duanqing's love life. He glanced at Mo Jinan and Lu Qian, who were standing silently to the side.
Come with me to take care of some business.
The three of them sighed in unison, reluctantly getting to their feet. Nie Baishi really is an extremely enthusiastic and outgoing person. My interactions with him have been pretty good, but after dinner, I found an excuse to get away from Nie Baishi's clinginess. Alone by myself. When I got to the piano room, I specifically searched for my target on the forum. One of them, Jia Shu, is the secretary to the student council president. She has been very busy these past few days, often working until 8 or 9 at night before leaving the office. And the piano room I use is quite close to the student council office. It's neither too far nor too close, but it's a place that Jiashu has to pass by no matter what. Jiashu is from a musical family and loves music. She values her integrity and has never dated, but she stated her partner must play an instrument. A girl who plays the piano, has a certain artistic talent, is kind, gentle, and beautiful. And right now, I happen to meet some of those criteria. As for the areas where I don't meet the standards, well, I am confident that I can make Jiashu change her preferences for me. After all, my piano playing and my looks are my best weapons. I left the door slightly ajar. Then I turned on all the lights in the piano room and sat down on the piano bench. I positioned myself so the boy would push the door open and see me perfectly. Then I placed my hands on the piano keys. Once the student council work finished, it was late. Mo Jinan irritably ran his hand through his hair.
They really treat the student council like a garbage disposal. Every little problem, no matter how trivial, they make us decide.
Duanqing was also feeling overwhelmed.
I was supposed to go out for drinks with someone tonight. But instead, I had to deal with all this crap. What a waste of time.
Lu Qian nodded in strong agreement. In such a big school, many problems arise from these privileged students. Issues beyond the council's reach, or involving people they can't offend, go to Li Wenchuan. Fang Jiaxu, following behind, complained.
What's the big deal about this? The things these young masters have to deal with are already filtered by me, layer by layer. After they set up that game, the trivial matters they'll have to handle will probably be even more.
Suddenly, Duanqing perked up his ears, looking suspicious.
Did you hear that?
Mo Jinan looked displeased.
Jingye, stop playing tricks on me so late at night. I heard you too.
Fang family, Shu's mother. Born into a musical family, she has a very keen sensitivity to music.
It sounds like someone is playing the piano.
Mo Jinan frowned, looking somewhat fierce.
Who plays the piano so late at night? Are they crazy?
Duan Qingye thought of something and sneered. He knew just how popular the four of them were.
Maybe playing the piano is just a pretense, and what they really want is to get our attention. Let's go take a look.
Mo Jinan didn't care either way.
Whatever.
Lu Qian smiled. He looked down on people like that.
I'm busy, so I'm out.
Duan Qingye habitually asked.
Wenchuan, do you want to go take a look?
Although he asked, Duan Qingye knew very well that with Li Wenchuan's personality, he would never join them in this kind of excitement. But to his surprise, Li Wenchuan actually stopped in his tracks, his expression calm.
Their playing is pure and uncluttered.
Duan Qingye looked surprised.
Wenchuan, are you actually speaking up for that person? That's really rare.
Grew more curious about the pianist, he raised an eyebrow.
So it seems I misunderstood them. In that case, I'd actually like to get to know this person.
Li Wenchuan didn't say anything else. He also wanted to meet the person who could play such music. When that door was rudely pushed open, a stunningly beautiful young girl playing the piano under the spotlight came into view. The bystanders froze in place. I, a scholarship student, must play a haughty heiress. And here, on my first day of school, I attracted the four major financial giants. The girl lowered her eyes, focusing on the piano keys, already immersed in the music. Her soft black hair shimmered under the lights. Her delicate features looked like a painting. Duan Qing was shocked to see the person they just discussed appear right before him. His gaze was filled with amazement. Isn't this Chu Yan? Li Wenchuan snapped back to his senses, suppressed his feelings, and spoke calmly.
How could someone as pure and transparent as Chu Yan get involved with a playboy like Duan Qingye?
Duan Qingye's desire to possess Chu Yan grew even stronger.
No one expected that the proud beauty who dominated the school forum could play the piano so brilliantly.
The piano stopped. I glanced at the door. Silent and nervous, I couldn't speak. I prepared well for Quilyu University. I know the four heirs. They're my targets. How did Fang Jiaxu get all three heirs here? If they investigate me, how will I survive at Quilyu University? Disastrous scenarios flashed through my mind. On the surface, however, I still maintained my proud and composed demeanor. Duan Qingye's captivating fox-like eyes were fixed directly on my face.
Chu Yan, we were drawn here by the sound of your singing. If we've disturbed you, I sincerely apologize.
I calmly averted my gaze and said, "No need," then got up and walked toward the door. Li Wenchuan looked at the beautiful girl approaching him and suddenly spoke up.
Aren't you going to continue the conversation?
I wasn't intimidated by their noble demeanor. I lifted my chin slightly and said, "You're very noisy."
How arrogant.
Duan Qingye pressed her tongue restlessly against the roots of her teeth. Why does this beauty suit her taste so well?
Can I have your contact information? I'd like to apologize to you.
With a cold expression, I replied, "No need." As I spoke, I turned slightly to the side and walked around them, completely distancing myself from that group. The cold look on my face instantly shattered. Still feeling shaken, I pressed my hand to my chest. I really don't know what these young masters are up to at night when they're bored, messing around and completely ruining my plans. If no one else had interfered, I might have succeeded in a few days and taken down the Fang family. But who could have expected that outside of my plan, Duan Qingyan would suddenly appear? He clearly seems very interested in me. With this, who at Quilyu University would dare risk offending Duan Qingyan to pursue me? What's even scarier is, who knows what else might happen? What if Duan Qingyan, in a moment of passion, decides to look into my background? What if he finds out that I'm just an ordinary person and that I've deceived him? No matter how much I thought about it, I couldn't come up with any solution. In the end, I just gave up. I went straight back to the dorm, pulled the covers over myself, closed my eyes, and uneasily drifted off to sleep. Meanwhile, in the lounge, Duan Qingyan was fiddling with his phone. He smiled with absolute confidence.
So what if Chu Yan won't give me his contact information? If I want to get your contact info, isn't it easy?
Ever since Mo Jinan came back, he hadn't said much. But seeing Duan Qingyan like that, he couldn't help but speak up irritably.
Why are you messing with him? He's not like your exes. Does he have a friend like you who talks this way?
Duan was also annoyed.
This time, I'm really serious. I don't plan to just play around. Besides, Anne, you're not the type to care about things like this.
He sat upright, his peach blossom eyes half smiling, yet looking earnest.
Don't tell me you like Chu Yan too and want to compete with me for him.
As a poor student, I captivated the four major conglomerates playing piano, and they've secretly fallen for me. But the brotherhood among the four conglomerates started to crack.
How is that possible?
Mo Jinan reacted strongly, suddenly sitting up straight with an angry look in her eyes.
We're brothers. How could I possibly go after someone you're interested in?
Duan Qing also smiled slowly, his eyes full of deeper meaning.
That's good then.
Mo Jinan looked away uneasily, while Li Wenchuan stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, gazing at the cold moonlight with an expressionless face. The next day, after washing up, I checked my phone and saw a new friend request in my contact list. I irritably tossed the phone onto the bed. Just then, there was a sudden knock at the bedroom door. I quickly put on a cool, indifferent expression. "Who is it?" I asked, my voice drifting toward the door, full of energy. "It's Nearby Shi." When I opened the door, Nearby Shi's eyes lit up.
Chu Yan, let's go have breakfast.
I hesitated for a moment. In the end, under Nearby Shi's expectant gaze, I slowly nodded. At Kui Liu University, all the public facilities are top-notch. Even the cafeteria is at a 5-star level. The only downside is that it's expensive. Of course, that's also my own shortcoming. Watching the balance on my bank card decrease makes my heart ache. After finishing breakfast, I arrived at the classroom door. When I noticed a group of people staring at me with the same look in their eyes, I had a bad feeling. Had someone, maybe Duan Qing, uncovered my identity? I stayed calm and walked into the classroom with a cold expression. There, someone sat at my desk, holding red roses with a smile. It was Duan Qingye smiling brightly. My vision went dark. He just wouldn't leave me alone. This was Chu Yan. Duan Qingye stood up as well. Even though he was at the center of everyone's attention, he still looked at me affectionately, smiling with a charming confidence.
We meet again.
I frowned slightly. I didn't say anything and Duan Qingye didn't mind my cold expression. His words were quite suggestive.
I'm very sorry. I disturbed you last night. This bouquet is my apology for bothering you yesterday evening.
Nie Baishi's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked back and forth between Duan Qingye and me. He looked utterly heartbroken.
Could it be, Xiaoyan? Has this pure white lotus from out of town been taken by Duan Qingye, that pig? No way.
It was my fault for playing the piano when I was in a bad mood last night and forgetting to close the door. I explained it lightly. I explained what happened. Young Master Duan did nothing wrong, so of course I can't accept his apology.
As long as classmate Chu Yan isn't upset, that's good.
Duan Qingye grinned.
I was worried you might dislike me.
I didn't say anything, expressing my silence through my actions. Duan Qingye placed the flowers on my desk. He winked at me.
He gave a wink.
With a headache, I thought I really needed to find a chance to talk to her. Duan Qingye blinked clearly.
The flowers Duan Qingye gave are really beautiful.
They're beautiful, and you can tell at a glance that they're expensive. But to me, they're not as tempting as a gold necklace. Pretty as they are, what use are they? But behind me, Yu Chang'an seemed quite envious and couldn't help but let out an exclamation of surprise.
Wow, CS's air-shipped fresh flowers are really gorgeous.
I paused for a moment, then turned and placed the flowers on Yu Chang'an's desk, my expression calm. If you like them, you can have them. Yu Chang'an's smile froze on his face.
Chu Yan, what do you mean by this? Giving me something you don't want? Are you treating me like a beggar? I can't accept it.
Seeing that the surrounding classmates' gazes were all falling on them, Yu Chang'an felt resentful inside, but put on an expression of being both shocked and flattered.
Young Master Duan gave you this? I can't accept it. Don't waste his sincerity like that.
That manipulative girl. I tilted my head, a hint of confusion flashing in my eyes, as if I didn't understand why Yu Chang'an was speaking this way. I thought you seemed to really like this bouquet, so I figured I might as well give it to you. I furrowed my delicate brows and quietly looked at Yu Chang'an. If you don't like it, just refuse. Why say so many strange things? On my first day at school, I managed to capture the attention of the notorious playboy with my stunning looks, but unexpectedly, the little green tea couldn't sit still. Nearby she asked in confusion.
Yeah, Chu Yan just saw that you liked it and wanted to give you the flowers. How did it turn into a matter of letting someone down?
The wealthy young heirs present were sharp. They saw through Yu Chang'an's act. Their gazes shifted strangely. Naturally, Yu Chang'an noticed and quickly tried to explain.
No, that's not it. You misunderstood me. That's not what I meant.
But I'd already turned away, and his performance went ignored. As the bell rang, Yu Chang'an fell silent, looking dark. The morning passed quickly. When class ended, a commotion broke out. I knew exactly who it was. He came quickly, like a persistent ghost. Nie Bai stood there, looking at me worriedly.
Chu Yan, do you not want to have lunch with Duan Qingye?
I lowered my eyes and replied calmly, "It's fine. I plan to find a chance to talk things through with Duan Qingye."
Chu Yan,
Duan Qingye tidied his hair.
what are you two talking about?
I got up and walked toward Duan Qingye. It's nothing. Duan Qingye just asked casually. He doesn't have the habit of prying into other people's privacy.
Xiaoyan, what do you like to eat?
What do I like to eat? Fried chicken, cola, popcorn, those are great. But now, I'm a lady of high status, so I keep a straight face and say, I really like French cuisine. I've only ever seen people eat it in TV dramas. Duan Qingye snapped his fingers and looked at me affectionately.
What a coincidence. I also like French cuisine. It seems our tastes are quite similar. The place I often go to has really good food.
I maintained a calm expression. Is that so? What a coincidence. If I accepted him so easily, Duan Qingye would probably lose interest. My indifferent attitude actually sparked his competitive spirit. No matter what, he was determined to win me over. When the two of us arrived at the restaurant, a waiter immediately came up to greet us.
Young Master Duan, this way please. May I ask how to address this young lady?
My surname is Chu.
Alright, this way please, you two. Qingye, what are you doing here?
Duan Qingye looked up and smiled.
Wenchuan, what a coincidence, but I thought you didn't like French food.
Li Wenchuan's gaze swept over my beautiful arms. His eyes were very calm, and the glance was extremely quick.
It was Anan and Qian who picked this place.
Duan Qingye frowned. He wanted to spend time with me alone. But I didn't want to see a bunch of third wheels. Why are they here too? Mo Jinan poked his head out from behind Li Wenchuan, looking grumpy.
Why don't you want to see us, Qingye? That's not very nice of you.
Lu Chen glanced at me beside Duan Qingye, and his eyes flashed with amazement.
Aren't you going to introduce us?
Duan Qingye cursed his luck but introduced us anyway. This is Chu Yan. I can't pretend anymore. He nodded. Hello everyone. How did these four troublesome heirs end up together? Li Wenchuan and Lu Qian nodded, but Mo Jinan just gave me an impatient, annoyed glance. Since we've run into each other, let's just stick together. Duan Qingye just put up with it, okay? Other students dining nearby couldn't help but secretly take photos of this scene. Later, the photos were posted on the forum. In the dorm room, Yu Chang'an stared obsessively at his phone. He slowly reached out his finger and gently caressed the photo with affection. The handsome face in the photo twisted into a grimace when he saw that extremely glaring person not far away.
Why? Why does Chu Yan get the chance to have a meal with them?
The young master's first date ended up with 3 third wheels tagging along. Unbeknownst to him, his beloved had attracted his close friend. During the meal, I felt the other's presence. Flickering glances seemed to spotlight me. I couldn't join the conversation. I just sat there like a prop. Sitting nearby, someone finally brought it up. Me.
Do you feel uncomfortable being with us? You haven't really said anything.
The guy in sunglasses stared at me intently, his pupils extremely deep and dark. Does that expression mean he doesn't like me? I was a bit confused. Not knowing when I had offended the guy in sunglasses, I could only reply as politely as possible. Lu Qian glanced at Mo Jinan, his brow slightly furrowed, while Li Wenchuan's gaze swept past indifferently. My face flashed by, and Duan Qing's eyes also held an unreadable expression.
Anan, you really are quite attentive.
But Mo Jinan has never been a careful person. How could someone so proud and self-centered suddenly care whether a stranger had spoken or not? Mo Jinan felt uneasy under Duan Qingyan's gaze. But soon, that uneasiness turned into embarrassed anger.
Why can't I just ask?
Duan Qing gazed at Mo Jinan with a seductive, captivating smile.
Of course you can. After all, we're good brothers, right? Isn't that right, Anan? Of course.
Mo Jinan looked away, and Lu Qian noticed. He smiled gently, as if sensing something was up.
I remember that freshmen have a heavy workload, and it's already getting late. Qingye, you should also be considerate of Chu Yan's studies. That's the issue.
Clearly a hint to hurry. I knew when to be tactful. I stood up and said, I have afternoon classes, so I'll nap first. Duan Qingye stood up too.
I'll walk you out.
I didn't refuse, I agreed. Duan Qingye's invitation was really just because I wanted to talk to him. Heading back, seeing we were alone, I started, Master Duan. But he silenced me with a finger to his lips, his eyes dancing with laughter.
There's no need to be so formal, Xiao Yan. You can just call me Qingye.
I said coldly. I don't know what you're trying to do, but your behavior, it really has caused me trouble. Duan Qingye's smile didn't fade. Instead, it deepened.
Can't you tell, Xiao Yan? I really like you. Everything I've done is just because I want to pursue you.
Just want to pursue me, that's all. I frowned slightly, intending to speak frankly, but I really don't.
Xiao Yan.
Duan Qingye suddenly interrupted me. His expression unexpectedly turned serious.
You don't like me. It's your freedom not to like me, but it's also my freedom to pursue you. You have the right to reject me, and I have the right to pursue you. What do you think?
If we really fall out, it won't do me any good. There's no benefit for me. I can compromise, but there are still some things I need to say up front. Duan Qingye, you are not the type I like. Duan Qingye smiled, unconcerned.
Then what kind of guy does Xiao Yan like?
I looked Duan Qingye straight in the eyes and said, gentle, kind, devoted, and most importantly, rich and willing to spend money on me. When I mentioned the word devoted, I deliberately emphasized it. Duan Qingye also laughed.
Xiao Yan, do you think I'm a playboy?
Is there even a need to ask? I used my silence to show my agreement. Quite the opposite, actually. Duan Qingye never thought of himself as a playboy either.
Every person I've dated I've truly liked, especially you. I fell in love with you at first sight.
What a mouthful of sweet talk. If I had a simpler mind, I might actually be fooled by him. In the past, I didn't believe a single word Duan Qingye said. I didn't believe any of it. I didn't want to argue with him that much. In fact, I don't even believe in love. Looking at the apartment building just a few steps away, I said calmly, Young Master Duan, I've arrived. You don't need to walk me any further. Duan Qingye curled his lips into a smile.
All right, see you tomorrow.
At sunset, I once again arrived at the music room in disguise. I had to make my disguise flawless, leaving no loopholes. If I only went to the music room once, anyone would inevitably become suspicious. Was what happened that night just a coincidence? Of course, I wouldn't overlook such a small flaw, especially since I genuinely love the piano. Thinking about my own situation, I couldn't help but start playing. The sorrowful melody forced my fingers onto the piano keys. I remained lost in thought for a long time.
I'm sorry for disturbing your tranquility.
A cold, indifferent voice suddenly sounded from the corner.
Were you reminded of something sad?
Who would have thought that I was just playing a sad piece? That this sad piece actually made the famously aloof school heartthrob come over and talk to me. But what surprised me even more was, his attitude toward me next was unexpectedly gentle and caring. The moment I heard someone speak, I was almost scared to death. But I quickly composed myself and pretended to be calm. I turned my head calmly, but when I saw who it was, I couldn't help but frown slightly. Unlucky, really unlucky. Even though I was annoyed inside, I still responded politely. It was young Master Li, that's right. The person who appeared was none other than Li Wenchuan, the heir to the Li family's talent. How could someone as aloof and untouchable as him suddenly take the initiative to talk to me? It was just too strange for him to strike up a conversation with me. With that in mind, I continued speaking. I just remembered some old things. I didn't go into detail, and naturally Li Wenchuan didn't press me for more. In fact, as soon as he asked me about it, I suddenly felt a twinge of regret in my heart. What's more, I was also someone Duanqing liked. For a moment, the music room. The room was silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. I couldn't stand the atmosphere any longer, so I simply stood up and walked toward the door. On the other side, Li Wenchuan stared at my slender back. He watched for quite a while before finally lowering his gaze, as if trying to hide something. On the first weekend of the new semester, the freshman group would have a placement test. This was to assess the students' academic foundations and to reassign them to different classes accordingly. Naturally, I was aware of this and had made thorough preparations for it. But when I saw the exam subjects, I started to panic. At Quilu University, in addition to the most basic academic subjects, there were also 6 foreign languages, calligraphy, business management experience, investment studies, coding, golf, and so on. I had never come into contact with any of these courses at all. If I really had to take the exam, I was afraid I'd be exposed on the spot. So my only option was to find a way to avoid this exam. Therefore, after finishing one of the basic subjects, I clutched my chest and held my breath. I tried hard to make my face turn pale as I held my breath. Ni Baishi happened to be assigned to the same exam room as me, and as soon as he saw me like this, he was instantly scared out of his wits. "Hey, what's wrong with you?" My lips were pale as I leaned against the wall and squatted down, my brows tightly furrowed, my voice so weak it was barely audible. Baishi, my mouth. Ni Baishi was so anxious that he was pacing in circles, cold sweat already covering his forehead. "Xiaoyan, speak clearly, take your time, your mouth, what?" My delicate face was already scrunched up, my little pouch. I was already trending on the forum, and seeing me like this, the students all gathered around to watch. "Isn't that Chu Yan? Why does she suddenly look like this? Could she be sick? I think I heard that her health is supposed to be pretty weak."
Then why aren't you hurrying to take her to the school clinic? Yeah, don't delay any longer.
The school clinic. A sudden idea struck me. No, I absolutely can't go. If I really get taken there, if I get taken to the school clinic and the doctor examines me, won't my act of pretending to be sick be exposed? Hearing what the others said, Ni Baishi immediately wanted to help me up.
That's right. Xiaoyan, hang in there. I'll take you to the school clinic right now.
I'm doomed. Just as I was about to say I wanted to stay here, just as I reached into my right pocket, an extremely calm voice sounded above my head.
Calm down. Don't move her yet.
My misty eyelashes trembled. Why is it him again? From Li Wenchuan's perspective, I was curled up into a small ball, leaning against the wall, my face pale and delicate, looking like a fragile, like a pitiful little rabbit. The thought flashed through my mind. Li Wenchuan crouched down, trying to make his voice sound gentle and harmless. He asked,
Chu Yan, where's your medicine?
Seeing the boy like this, it wouldn't be wise to move him recklessly. The best way is to let him take his medicine first to ease his condition. I felt myself. It felt like I was walking a tightrope on the edge of a cliff, but the more nervous I got, the calmer I became. I kept acting diligently, and then, my right pocket.
Sorry.
Li Wenchuan lowered his gaze and reached his large hand directly into my right pocket. He fumbled around for a moment. Finally, he pulled out a bottle of medicine. I took the medicine and swallowed it, and my complexion improved quite a bit. But Li Wenchuan still wasn't willing to let it go at that.
Let me take you to the hospital for a checkup.
As the poorest student in school, I went so far as to spend 5 million to create a facade. I even lied about having a heart condition, all just to pretend to be a proud and aloof young lady. But I never expected that my lie was about to be exposed. A sense of crisis welled up in me and I shook my head. No need. Li Wenchuan frowned slightly.
Bottling up memories is not a good habit.
I lowered my eyes stubbornly. I don't want to go to the hospital. Li Wenchuan sighed. For the first time in his life, he compromised.
You're unwell, so head home and rest up.
With my head lowered, a small voice suddenly came from the crowd of onlookers nearby.
I feel so strange. Why would young Master Li care about Chu Yan?
Those words didn't reach my ears. I was already being helped away from the crowd by Nie Baishi. Li Wenchuan, upon seeing the boys' back disappear, went straight to the school gate to wait for his driver. He still had a lot of company matters to deal with. Just then, a flashy sports car pulled up next to Li Wenchuan. Mo Jinan, looking irritated, got out of the car holding his phone.
Wenchuan, today you...
Li Wenchuan paused.
What is it?
Mo Jinan was feeling a bit frustrated and raised his voice.
You clearly know that Chu Yan is the one Qingye likes, so what?
Li Wenchuan interrupted Mo Jinan coldly.
Chu Yan is sick. As the student council president, shouldn't I show some concern for a sick classmate?
Mo Jinan couldn't help but question him.
But you're clearly not that kind of person.
Li Wenchuan once again interrupted him.
It's precisely because Qingye likes Chu Yan that I went to check on her. If something happened to Chu Yan, how would I explain it to him?
Mo Jinan fell silent. She felt that what Li Wenchuan said actually made some sense.
Anan, instead of doubting others like this, why don't you think about why you always get so agitated whenever something involves Chu Yan?
Mo Jinan felt completely guilty. She stood up and left behind. I don't
know what you're talking about.
Then I got in the car. I took a few days off school, claiming I needed hospital rest, but I actually just visited places I wanted to see. After 3 or 4 days, Duan Qingye's constant concerned messages, even offering to visit, made me stop, and I had to reassure him. He said he'd return to school tomorrow. Once I replied, I casually tossed my phone aside and decided to go out for some fun one more time tonight at that famous but expensive masquerade bar. Yes, the masquerade bar. As the name suggests, every guest who enters the bar has to wear various masks. If 2 people hit it off, they can leave together and unmask in private. This is undoubtedly something extremely exciting and challenging. At this moment, the masquerade bar is filled with colorful neon lights flickering on and off, and crowds of people are dancing wildly to the loud and passionate rock music, as if possessed, moving in a frenzy. But among the crowd, the most striking is still that girl in the hollowed-out silver mask. Even through the mask, you can more or less make out her eyes. The contours are those of captivating cat eyes, carrying a mysterious and exotic allure. Hello, can we get to know each other? Li Ziyan's gaze fell on the girl's red lips, her eyes filled with fascination. Even when you're out, you should pay attention to your safety. All I did was go to a bar to dance, and I was approached by 4 or 5 men in a row. But after getting rid of those men, I ended up facing a new kind of trouble. As for this person trying to hit on me, I didn't even think about it. I just walked right past the man. I'm not interested in you. But it turned out that person was someone who just wouldn't take a hint and clung to me like chewing gum.
How about this? Why don't you think it over carefully? My strengths and my weaknesses.
I laughed. Who doesn't know? The Lishi group only has 1 heir. Everyone else is just a distant relative. Fine. Transfer me 100 million and I'll consider getting to know you. 100 million, Li Zi. It's not that he couldn't come up with it, but it would definitely hurt him badly. He immediately got angry.
Are you messing with me?
I put away my smile. I said coldly, if you don't have money, then get lost. Li Ziyan had never suffered such a humiliating disgrace before. Her face flushed red with anger as she cursed.
Don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
Today, my hard-toed shoes made Li Ziyan scream. She collapsed in pain, unable to get up. I straightened my clothes and was about to leave when bodyguards opened the car door for Li Wenchuan.
Master's here.
Li Wenchuan got out of the car and looked into the distance. On the sign, the words Masquerade Bar glowed neon, and his brow twitched slightly.
As the heir of the Li group, I've never set foot in places like bars. If it weren't for Li Ziyan causing trouble here, I wouldn't have come to such a chaotic place.
Li Wenchuan, with an indifferent expression, had just walked up to the bar. At the entrance, someone wasn't paying attention, and suddenly a figure bumped into him. A faint scent of alcohol mixed with the person's light fragrance drifted to his nose. Li Wenchuan paused slightly, because he realized that a stranger had crashed into his arms. And to his surprise, he didn't feel the slightest bit of resistance. Not having drunk much before, I never expected that one drink would affect me like this. The alcohol seemed mild, but its after effects were so strong that after just a few steps, I suddenly felt the world spinning, dazed and angry. I looked up. After seeing clearly who was in front of me, my anger grew even stronger.
Why them? Why won't these ghosts leave me alone?
I met the girl's dark eyes brimming with tears. Li Wenchuan thought the person in front of him looked somewhat familiar. He couldn't help but take a few steps back to avoid the girl's sour gaze and asked, "Are you?" But before he could finish, I, on the other side, suddenly acted on impulse and made an extremely rash decision. I gave a wicked smile and rose up on my tiptoes. Then, fiercely, I bit Li Wenchuan's lips, refusing to let him go like a lingering ghost. That's right. I'll bite you to death. Bite you to death. My mind was muddled. I wasn't thinking at all. I just wanted to vent my anger viciously. I bit down hard on Li Wenchuan's lips, even tasting the metallic tang of blood in my mouth. But soon Li Wenchuan pushed me away, always so cold and aloof.